from third is Suarez. Goodell comes running in. He's under it, makes the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. It's in the air. He is out! Cameron Rick hangs on! Oh, man, what a play! Deep to right field. Way up there, and way second down,
Welcome back to the happiest and most positive Stupid Money podcast in the history of this show, because it has happened. Sean and I have waited literally half our lives for this moment, I'd say. Yeah, pretty much half. Yeah,
pretty much
more or less by like a year off, half for this moment. The Phillies are going back to the playoffs for the first time since 2011. It's crazy. I can't believe this after all the collapses and then the near collapse this year. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is great. I mean, we'll see how the playoffs go. We'll get into that a little bit, but for right now, Sean, I mean, they were 21-29. They had to fire the manager. Here we are.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, we were kind of expecting it the last month or whatnot, and then the last 2 weeks happened. Not the prettiest, but holy shit. Aaron Nola. I mean, I thought he was going to throw a perfect game. Oh my God.
If Alvarez didn't ambush that first pitch fastball like that, I think he was going the distance. I really do.
God.
But
I'll tell you what, I had no confidence in Aaron Nola. I actually placed a slight life hedge, mental hedge, just Astros money line the next 2 days, because that's the only games I could bet on for DraftKings. But holy shit, I've never been happier to lose a bet.
I feel that.
I just needed to do some reverse jinx.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't September Nola. It was technically October Nola.
Yeah, you're right. And this is completely different.
Yeah, because I mean, his career ERA in September is 4.4. It's I think it's the highest. It's by far the highest month of his splits, whatever you want to say there. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of. Honestly, I was not really that confident in him, and I know the Astros starters were only getting 2 at bats, but he perfect game the Astros starters. Let's be honest. So yeah, that was just such a good sign, not only for today, but just going into the playoffs, knowing you have Nolan Wheeler at the top. And I was gonna bring this up later because we got some more celebratory things to get into. But do you start Suarez tomorrow? I don't think you do.
I did not think about that. I'll tell you what. I know Cal Gibson only has 3 days rest, but throw him out there. Hopefully he gets hurt.
It's not like it matters. Oh my God. He's, I was going to say, if this went south, he was number one on my shit list. Why it went south. Yeah.
It would have went Gibson, Reese,
Castellanos.
Thompson.
Yeah.
I guess Castellanos. Or Boom. Even Segura.
Yes, I mean Segura. That's the guys that came back from injury have not played.
Marsh too.
Amazing. I mean, Marsh is hitting 290 with the Phillies. I think going forward, when he has a full year in this organization to work with the hitting coaches, I really think that we're gonna look back and be like, oh shit, they kind of got a steal. I can see that, but before we get too deep into that, huge shout out to the Marlins. Because this looked on Friday or Thursday, I guess it was. This looked bad. The Phillies had gotten swept by the Cubs for the second time this year, which just I was on a meltdown spree. Going nuts.
Who was it, man?
Going nuts. Yeah, as there's a Cubs jersey behind me. Just nuts. I was freaking out. And then who do the Brewers play that week? And they beat them, and then it we were tied with them, and then we got back ahead. We got back ahead, or it might have been the Marlins. Yeah, it was the Marlins, I think. Was it?
I don't know what you're going with here. But
Okay, I was just saying that like they got the confidence then going into Washington that okay, we're still not behind. I think if the Brewers would have won, they would have been behind, but at worst they were tied. I can't remember. But the fact that the Brewers lost, like I think jump started them, and then they had a really good weekend in Washington despite the rain. And from that point forward, I was like, okay, just win one. And shout out to the Marlins though, taking 3 out of 4 from the Brewers because without them, the Phillies probably have to win at least one more game here in Houston.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shout out to the Marlins.
Our Marlins. We never doubt them.
After they kept us out of the playoffs for like 3 years, they're the reason the Phillies got in. So there we go.
Yeah, our Marlins.
That's how it, yeah.
That's how it works out. I mean, while we're here just talking about, what other teams have been doing and whatnot, like give a shout out to the Marlins. Christian Walker.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You're banned from the area, bro. Like,
what is that?
What the fuck? Like, you cannot tell me you did that on purpose.
No, I mean, yeah.
2 outs? You do
that was so bad. That was so bad.
Oh my!
That was terrible.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
it would have been like the most Philly thing ever
for a guy from Philly to blow their
that, and then somehow the Phillies blow that, and then bang, they lose the next 2 games. And oh my god, like that is the most Philly thing ever.
Almost. Yep. Almost. I mean, shout out Kyle Schwarber. The home run or bust has worked out. I mean, just a phenomenal season. Is he up to 45 now? Yeah, 45. I mean, so that's a top 4 in terms of Phillies home runs in a season, I'm pretty sure. So it's tied, but I mean, that's awesome. Signing worked out big time.
Definitely.
Can't say enough about him. Shout out bullpen Eflin. He's gonna be like Evaldi for the Red Sox a couple of years ago.
I like that comp.
That's kind of what I'm feeling there. I don't know. I like the way this team sets up in the playoffs. If I get to cut the dead weight of Gibson and Syndergaard, you know what I mean? Like if I just get to focus on the front of my rotation, I love it. And then I get guys like Eflin and Falter out of the bullpen too. And there's a part of me that almost wants to make Falter the 3 and then like turn Ranger into like a utility guy so you could use him in 2 games instead of 1 maybe. But I don't know. I don't know.
I'm getting chills right now just thinking about like the playoff rotation because this is like what we've been talking about the last.
Yeah, we just get there.
Podcast. Yeah. Like we know the Phillies have been like a 500 team since we created this podcast. We understand that like around 500 whatnot. They're finally in the playoffs this year, but holy fuck, like they are actually kind of built for the playoffs. I know they'd really have like no playoff players right now other than Schwarber, Cassiano for a couple games,
David Robertson.
That's pretty much it. Like
Brad Hand a little,
pitched a little bit. Yeah, Brad Hand. That's a good one. But like this rotation, this lineup, like just it is built for the playoffs. It really is. Like they can hit home runs in like a flash. Like if Schwarber gets hot right now, holy fuck. If Reese gets hot right now, oh my god. Like they are built for the playoffs. They are. And now they're finally here. We're finally like we've been saying it the last fucking 3 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we're here. We're here.
Yeah, I mean, this is I guess my one word is this is like the least playoff experience roster, maybe not in baseball because like teams like the Pirates and Regs exist, but like in terms of teams that compete, they're the least experienced. I mean,
it's definitely the most.
They had the top 2 guys.
Yeah,
in terms of games played without making the playoffs. And then they had 2 of the top 3 pitchers in starts made like between playoff appearances. Cause I think Wheeler made the playoffs, but then that was a while ago. And then Nola was up there. So like, this is a very inexperienced roster in terms of the playoffs. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I mean, cause you got young guys too, like Bohm, Marsh, Fearling, Stott, that you're going to rely on to be making plays on both sides of the ball for you this weekend. And like, we'll see.
Yeah, what I was just getting to, I mean, they have to be the most experienced roster of just non-playoff appearances.
The most
That's like
experienced, inexperienced roster.
yeah. Like they've been in the league the longest, but they've
Yeah.
never been in the playoffs.
They're an
Like,
old team. Yeah.
If you just combine like games played without a postseason appearance, they
Yeah.
gotta be number one by like a large margin.
I think so. Yeah. For sure.
Their entire starting lineup, other than Schwarber. And Bryce.
Yeah, I mean Harper. Yeah, Harper with the Nats a couple times, but that was so long ago. Yeah, I mean, well, did Castellanos make the playoffs with the Reds in the COVID year?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that doesn't count, but all right. I mean, it doesn't count, but okay.
I mean, we just made the playoffs as the third wild card.
I mean,
that thing.
Okay, but technically they still could be the 2, so we shouldn't even.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what we want to get to. So shout out to the Mets for blowing the division lead. That is just the most hysterical thing ever. Those cocky bastards. Good.
I almost want to play them now.
There's that thing that like they're flat, and I get that, but the mojo around us and them has just been unbearable. And a part of me just needs to get back at the Cardinals for 2011.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that. I had that written in my notes.
Yeah.
So I mean, they ended our era.
For sure.
I mean, Howard goes down. The whole way they don't make the playoffs in 11 years. We got a shot to do to them. Molina, Pujols, Wainwright,
Juice balls. Yeah.
Juice balls.
Yeah.
We have a shot then, and Schwarber can get his revenge on Pujols from the home run derby.
Yeah, and doesn't one of Arenado or Goldschmidt have like an opt out after this year or something? Arenado might. Yeah, so I mean, this could really we could really put them out on a sour note here, and I would love to do that.
What if we win and then we sign Arenado?
I mean, that's even better.
Yeah, I mean, I promised myself I wouldn't get into like the all-season talk, but
no, we're not doing that yet. No,
you can't help but think like this win, Middleton being at the game, seeing like all the guys.
Yeah,
he's in the playoffs. This is just the beginning.
I think so. They're
gonna make another.
Now that he got a taste, he's gonna want more, which is great.
Oh yeah,
it's great for everyone involved. I feel like. So.
It's the Will Ferrell gif of him drinking beer in Old School. I don't know if you ever watched that movie. My favorite movie all the time. But he's like a married man, like recently married. He goes to a college party, has beer for like the first time in a couple of months.
Yeah, and he's streaking down the road. Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, that is funny. I did watch that. Yeah, kinda, I guess.
That's Middleton right now. Like it's the taste.
The taste. Oh, I like the way the Phillies match up with the Cardinals, though. Won the season series 4-3. I think they could have done better than 4-3, if I'm being honest. Kyle Gibson won't pitch, which will help because he was the one that gave up the back-to-back home runs to the Cardinals. I don't know if you remember that game.
I do remember that. I was down the shore.
Yeah.
He ruined that day.
Yeah, just not
here.
Yeah, not a good guy. So we'd have to see him. I'd leave him off the playoff roster, but
he shouldn't be on the roster. He shouldn't be.
No, and he doesn't throw hard enough to justify being put in the bullpen.
No, and I guess the last time we did the podcast, called him Charlie Morton.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
that might be one of the biggest L's I ever have, like on this pod, because holy shit, how was I wrong?
Yeah,
Charlie Morton out here, he's washed and he's getting $20 million.
I don't know what that's about either, but
why are we? I mean, good for him.
Yeah, sure.
Like, don't you got to sign Dansby? Don't you got to sign,
Freed in a couple? No, Freed will be right as Morton comes off, actually. So
yeah,
but
like all Braves fans are like panicking now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't if I was them. Their roster looks amazing right now, and most of it is signed for a long time. Where was I going before? Oh yeah, the whole Gibson thing. I have to look up what his numbers are after his near perfect game because his ERA must be 6.
Yeah,
like that was. I think that was that was the climax of his career. I think. I'm not even kidding. Like it seriously might have. Like it was. Like
I mean, to be fair, in my like, to be fair with myself, like
Okay.
Gibson was like really, really good when I did say that.
He was. I don't know if he was crafty. I'd say like he was just finding ways to get outs.
Like he was a solid, 5 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs for like a good stretch of like 10 plus starts, and it was great. It was great, and then
he just went. He plummeted like crazy.
Most unserious pitcher of all time. Like,
shit. So really quick, I wanted to ask you a couple roster decisions, I guess, for the playoffs. I don't know if Sosa's healthy to come back. Was that talked? I know Hand's supposed to be back.
So I mean, Sosa's in Philly right now. They're doing like that extended season for like the Florida guys and a couple of AAA guys. Like Kingery's up there,
right?
Sosa, or Jalen Ortiz is there with him. So I mean, I'm assuming if he's doing that, he can go for the playoffs in a few days.
Yeah. So you're taking Maton off the roster then?
No.
So then you got to take Hall off. Having that lefty power bat for the playoffs is nice, but
the Cardinals really have no lefties in the pen. Like it's Jojo Romero, who's he's walking in runs now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I want to keep Hall, but you got to keep Maton. Maton's a freaking stud.
Yeah, so I think that's really the one, in terms of offensive players, the one roster move they have to decide before Friday, I guess. Other than that, I think they're okay with the offensive side of things.
Yeah. I mean, bullpen gets interesting.
I was going to bring this up. It's like they trust Alvarado and Eflin and about no one else right now. Like, is that a fair assessment? Because it feels that way. Brogdon's been horrible, and then
Pilatti's been all right.
You
don't trust him in a playoff game.
No, I mean, and Robertson and Dominguez just look like overworked. I guess
Roberts is cooked.
Their command looks off.
Sir Anthony. I mean, he's still pumping, 101.
But it's like all over the place.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because Sir Anthony, tremendous year.
Yeah.
Like the main reason why they got here, pretty much. Like the bullpen, like what a year for the bullpen. It just was.
Yeah.
It kind of went off the tracks at like a time when they didn't have Sir Anthony. He comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Does all right. But I mean, Sir Anthony has to be, top 3 most important players for this Philly season, because where we were with the bullpen the last 3-4 years, I mean, it's night and day.
It really is. Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of ranking the people to thank to get to this point.
I think mine goes JT 1.
Yeah, he's 1 or 2 for me too. Bohm's up there for me. I think after the whole I hate this place thing, his defense has been fantastic. I mean, look, he's not Arenado. He's not going to make the plays not supposed to. But in terms of doing, taking care of what's in front of him, he's been great at it since that happened, really.
Yeah. Sir Anthony definitely in the top 5. Suarez. Just,
I have Falter in my 5.
Falter there too. Because, I mean, obviously Falter has not been better than Nola this year.
But in terms of just kind of bringing stability to the back end of the rotation when it got a little shaky there, and they went through some injury stuff, and Syndergaard with the whole I need 5 days of rest stuff. I think kind of the job he did, just always going deep in games. Maybe he didn't always, it wasn't always like 1 run or less, but he always tried to get through the 5th, and it saved the bullpen. It did a lot for them. And I really think he's one of the unsung heroes as to why they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he got sent down how many times this year and last year?
Yeah,
gotta be 5 total. So I really thought he was nothing last year. And like all my friends like put in the group chat, like, oh, Billy Falter start. Like, I don't know if they were kidding or not, but they were like kind of hyping him up. And I was like, oh my God, this guy he's just an innings eater. That's a lefty. That's one reason in the league. And now he's good.
Is. Yeah. I mean, if we don't want to get in the off season, but if they plan on like spending a lot on the infield and the bullpen next year, like he's the 5.
Yeah, at least to start the year.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised. Were you surprised? I know he struggled a little bit in AAA.
McGarry.
Surprised we never saw McGarry.
Yeah. I think the 5-inning collapse, 5-run collapse that he had a couple weeks ago really just sunk it in. It was his second appearance in AAA, and he just got shelled. I mean, you can't tell me he wasn't worse than Christopher Sanchez, though. You just can't.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't worse than Brogdon the last 2 months either.
But like you can't. Like Brogdon's whatever. Like at least he has somewhat of a track record. It's just Christopher Sanchez. We haven't done a podcast in pretty much 2 months.
Yeah, together. No, we haven't.
But Christopher Sanchez, bro. Oh my God.
I've not seen him pitch, actually. I feel like every time he pitches, I'm like not watching, which is good for me, I guess.
Dude, he walked in 2 runs in 1 appearance.
Oh yeah, I was not watching that game, so I do know what you're talking about though, yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah. So good news, the Cubs are not in the playoffs.
The Cubs or the Rangers or the
Giants.
Giants, yeah. What was it, Giants?
Yeah, they were 1-5 against the Giants, 0-4 against the Rangers, 0-6 against the Cubs, which just makes no sense.
And they also got swept by the D-backs in Philly earlier in the year.
No. They took 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks in Philly and then lost 2 out of 3 in Arizona. So they finished 3-3. I kind of have every record breakdown with each team memorized. So, beat the crap out of the Nationals this year, which was great. Was it 15-4? I think. I don't
even remember the 4 losses, other than the one that Maton had to pitch last week.
Yeah, so it was the blowout on Saturday. It was the blowout on Saturday.
Yeah,
it was one of the games when they played those 5 games in 4 days. Do you remember that, like back in June?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And then there was like an early one early in the season when they were still struggling, and then there's one other one along the way I can't remember, but yeah, beating Philadelphia isn't as hard as Philadelphians say it is, but
I can't believe that tweet's still up.
Yeah, the Nationals run probably the worst social media team in all Major League sports, like not just MLB. Like it's trash. They're pathetic. They tried to keep the Phillies out of the playoffs by doing that whole doubleheader thing, and instead of the game starting like a half hour after the first one, it started 4 hours later when they knew it was going to rain. So yeah, they suck. They'll continue to suck. Shout out Patrick Corbin, won us like 5 games this year. So just thought I'd get a little Nationals in there.
Oh, always got to get Nationals hate, even on the greatest day of this podcast history,
Yeah,
I guess days for this podcast, existing goes today. The luxury tax day.
The one I wasn't there for, or
both of them. I guess.
Okay. The Padres just scored in the bottom of the 8th, so if they win, the Phillies will stay at the 3rd wild card spot.
Okay. Good.
Which we both prefer because it looks like the Mets are staying at the number 1 wild card spot. Did they lose to the Mets lost to the Nationals, I think, today?
They're so damn bad.
Hang on, did they? No, it got postponed.
Well, DeGrom like kind of got rocked.
Yeah, Olsen took him deep. I know. I remember. I watched that. Yeah, that's a thing. This Mets team too. there's not a ton of playoff pedigree on that team either.
I feel like most of them have been in the playoffs.
But it's like those guys with the A's, like all those years ago. Like
All those years ago, they were in the playoffs, weren't they, last year?
were they in last year? There's no way they just dived that quick. I don't think it was last year. It might have been the year before.
Well, they were definitely in the COVID year. I mean, that's a lock.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
They had to be in the playoffs last year. They had to.
Were they? Are you sure?
I mean, they had a good roster and everything. Think about that team they had last year.
Okay, there were only 2 wild cards last year. No, because both of the wild cards came from the AL East. It was the Rays and the Red Sox. Yeah.
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 You're right.
Yeah. How about the White Sox? Most disappointing team of the year is them. So
that's a killer. They spent a lot of money too.
Yeah. They killed my parlay because at the All-Star break, I made a parlay with the Braves, the Cardinals, and the White Sox, who were all in second place at the time, to win their divisions. So they nuked that for me. I'm not really happy with them, but oh well.
Yeah, so the A's won 97 games in 2019. They won 36 games in the COVID year, and then
That's
last year
enough,
they won 86 games.
And this year they lost like what 100 games, 102, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this weekend is going to be crazy. I think I read that if they stay in the 3 spot and they play the Cardinals, Michael Kay and Alex Rodriguez are the announcing crew.
Not a big fan of A-Rod in the booth. Not a big fan.
No, so that'll be something. We'll be there for the pool hosts. Suck off tour. That'll be fun, I guess. I don't know when Wheeler strikes him out 3 times.
If he hits a home run off of us, dude.
Well, they better not juice the balls in the playoffs. Whatever you want to do in the regular season, so you get 700 home runs. Go ahead. There's no way that guy at 40 gazillion years old hit 330 with 20 home runs in the second half of the season on his own. Okay, that just didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. There's definitely some shady business.
He hitting like 180 in the first half of the year.
He wasn't that bad, was he?
Yeah, he was. It might have been like 210, but still
shit.
And he had.
I mean, I know he was
4 home runs. He had 4 home runs.
I feel like that's wrong as well, but I mean, I know he wasn't good in the first half. I'm not saying that. I thought he was definitely batting 230 with 7, 8 home runs.
I mean, maybe 7, but that's 7 home runs, and I mean, whatever. But as long as they don't juice the balls in the playoffs, I'm okay with it.
Juice them both ways.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, we'll hit. We could use some. We need some of our guys could definitely use some juice balls right now. That's for sure. Man, what a day! I mean, we waited 11 years for this to happen again, which is crazy.
Yeah, 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade. Now graduated college, which is crazy.
I am 2 years graduated college.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm a year in 2 months, but whatever.
I guess I'm a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So now we're old, and the Phillies are finally somewhat relevant again, I guess. And you've said this. You've said this. I've seen you tweet this a lot. You're on the hill that this is their worst roster for the next 10 years.
It is, dude. It is. I wanted to say this as well for the off season.
Right.
The off season is going to start for us in November. A big Schwarber run. for the World Series. But yeah, I mean, the single A rookie ball team won the championship. They got a ton of studs there, a ton of pitchers. And then you got Painter, you got McGarry, you got Abel. They're probably going to trade Abel with like Hoskins in the offseason or Bohm or whoever.
Rojas.
And Rojas, fine, whatever. For like Rafael Devers. And then they're going to sign somebody. It's going to be a big offseason. Like the whole Will Ferrell gif, like,
Yeah,
it tastes so good. Like, this is Middleton's like baby. And
right.
like, I mean, Middleton's getting older. He is. And like, he sees his window. He sees this team. He sees this farm system he has coming up. And I mean, we have the GM that makes these moves too. So like, we're already paying the luxury tax. The penalty to pay the luxury tax next year is pretty much nothing. It's the same thing as this year. And then after that, it starts to get a little complicated. But I mean, if you're in the playoffs 2 back-to-back years and you're in Philadelphia, you're going to continue to pay the luxury tax if you're good.
Yeah.
It's a big day for Philly, though. Like, you know, fans are finally going to come back. It was embarrassing the last couple of weeks, and
it was.
We finally did it. We finally broke the curse. You know, hopefully they win this playoff series, wild card series against the Cards, and then it's baseball, man. I mean, we saw it firsthand with the Cardinals. What they did this in 2011.
Right.
Anything can happen in the playoffs. If anybody,
and 10 too. You know, the Giants came out of nowhere. And, you know, I'll even argue the Phillies in 08. Not a lot of people were picking them to win that year either. So
yeah. I mean, that was the worst team that, you know, won it that we had for that run. So it's anything can happen, man. You know, Nola gets hot and he just becomes the most dominant pitcher in October, which, I mean, we've seen that happen. We've seen Nola go through like a run in a month where he's just dominant, where he has like a 1.2 ERA.
Especially if they're playing these like warm weather teams. Like they go play, you know, Missouri's not, you know, Florida, but it's warmer than here. And then if they play like the Braves or the Dodgers or the Padres, like there's a lot of warm weather teams in the NL playoffs, and we know he struggles in the cold. And outside the Mets, there's really no other cold weather team to say in the NL playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. So I mean, we'll say, but it's baseball, and anything can happen, man. Anything. Boom. I mean, Alec Bohm could get fucking hot. Rhys Hoskins could pretty much become a folk hero if he just goes on a 10-game run like we've seen him do, you know, time and time again. Hopefully that. I mean, I do want that to happen. But they better be winning those games because, God forbid, if they're winning those games, Rhys Hoskins goes off and he's back here next year.
We're gonna wait to get into that. But oh god, because he's been driving me nuts lately. But yes, I would just say, you know, going into this playoff series, I just have one. Please just move Hoskins down the lineup. Put Bohm at 2. I know you can't put Stott there because you can't go 3 straight lefties.
Yeah.
Even Marsh. Like Marsh is a 290 hitter with the Phillies. He can't go there either because he's a lefty. So like it has to be Bohm, or you know, if freaking Castellanos was just hitting for power like he was last year, you put him in the 4 hole and then JT bats second. Like, but you can't. So I don't know what they got to do. I can't take Hoskins in the 2 hole right now. I think he needs to be moved down. But other than that, I like the lineup. Stott is on fire, but because of Schwarber and Harper being lefties, he has to stay down. You know, I feel good about this team against the Cardinals. I do. I thought they matched up well with them throughout the year. I know the Cardinals got hot at the end. I don't know how much of that was the fact that their division was an absolute joke. 3 teams were like battling for 90 losses, it feels like. I think they all got there, if I'm being honest. If I have to look, but I think they all got to 90 losses, or will. There's 2 games left. So, like, that helps. And the Brewers, who can't score to save their lives, playing them helps. So, you know, I don't know how good the Cardinals are. I know the Phillies are battle tested because they went up against the Braves and the Mets 38 times. They won the season series against the Padres, the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Dodgers. They had to play with their backs up against the wall for the past couple of weeks. So I feel good about them, honestly. And I'm not saying they're going to win the World Series, but to win a playoff series against the Cardinals, I think that's very doable for this team.
Yeah, I just hope they win a series just to get a home game in Philly.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it would be nice to see that. It sucks that this will be on the road, and then if they do go on the next series, the first two would be on the road, and you just hope they're not in an 0-2 hole if that happens. But I hope we're talking on Monday or even Sunday. Let's say Sunday, because I'm gonna say we take this in 2.
I will not be able to talk on Sunday, definitely.
Oh, who are the Eagles
I will be
playing?
in
Who are the
Arizona.
Eagles? Oh, that's right. I forgot. So whatever. So one day next week, I guess. Or if I have to do this alone, I will. But
I mean, I'll bring my laptop, but
all right.
Sunday cannot do.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. But I Wheeler and Nola games 1 and 2. Let's get it. And that's what I was thinking about. Do you get aggressive and put Suarez in the bullpen to piggyback those two guys in those 2 games?
That's so tough. Because I want to say yes. I want to say yes so bad.
Yeah, but then you're screwed if you lose one of them and you got to go to game 3.
God damn it. Well, you're not screwed because then you hopefully you still have Falter who can give you like four innings.
I mean,
survive.
I think if you win game, no, if you lose game 1, I think you got to put him in the bullpen for game 2.
Here's the thing: it's not like a video game. Like you got to have this decision made like now, pretty much.
I don't think so. I mean, like I remember Chris Sale closing for the Red Sox in the World Series. Like you just put the dude back there.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think Ranger Shores is like a.
He has bullpen experience, but like he's closed. He was a long man. He's been a starter. Like if there's one guy that I trust on, the drop of a hat to go back there and pitch 2 innings out of the bullpen, it's him. Like he's the one guy.
Other than F1.
Well, yeah, but Eflin's already back there.
Yeah.
So,
God damn it! It's so tough because if everything was equal and nothing of this mattered, and we could just say Ranger, like you're probably gonna be starting game 3, but if we lose game 1, you're in the bullpen. Like I don't know if that fucks up his daily schedule. I don't know if that screws up anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they would do, but it would help if we had a lot more confidence in Dominguez and Robertson and Hand and Brogdon right now. But for how good those guys were from June to August, they were pretty bad this month.
They were awful. You could just say they were terrible.
Yeah, they were all pretty bad. They were all bad.
Sir Anthony was the only one that was decent, and I feel like he walked the guy every single appearance.
Yeah, he just kind of treaded water. He had that meltdown in Atlanta,
which and we're gonna see it, this Cardinal series and whatnot. But playoff at bats are insane. No batter is giving 1 pitch away.
No one's really swinging first pitch.
It is
the Astros tonight. Yeah,
it is intense baseball, and if you're not throwing strikes, you're fucked. And especially with these new rules, you gotta pitch against 3 guys. Oh my god!
Right.
I could just see Brad Hand throwing the freaking frisbees out, missing the strike zone, and he's stuck with him against 3 more or against 2 more guys, and we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I hate happen. I hate Brad Hand.
I know you do.
I hope his mom's listening to this podcast.
Oh God. Okay.
She's the worst, dude. Your son's not good anymore.
I never had a run-in with her, so I don't know.
I mean, you probably had. You just haven't realized it.
Maybe.
She just likes your tweets about Brad Hand sucking, and then she unlikes them. And then she likes the next one that you tweet the next day, but she unlikes it. It's
Oh boy, that's great. I'm glad.
I'm sorry, your son just lost it, and he's the fakest 2 ERA of all time.
I know you love to say that. That's been your catchphrase of the season. It seems like. The Phillies made the playoffs, and all three of their bullpen signings were a disappointment. I don't know if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that Familia was gone at the trade deadline. Knebel was out for the year with an injury, and Hand had the fakest 2 ERA in baseball, that the Phillies would make the playoffs, but they did. So that's props to guys like Alvarado, Dominguez,
Yeah, I mean
Brogdon before he went off the rails. I mean,
Bellotti.
props. Yeah, Bellotti, Nick Nelson.
I can't believe Nick Nelson made the year.
Yeah, thank God they got rid of that Norwood dude.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I hated him. Ever since the that game. But I props to those guys because I think they really carried this team, considering the 32 million they put into the bullpen was a flop. So
yeah, I mean that's why I said Sir Anthony's top 5 for me this year. Like huge, and Alvarado as well, I guess, because the last month without him, we're not talking today.
No. I mean, he was the comeback he's made since going to AAA was amazing. Can't say enough about him. He looks good. I mean, the Rays messed up. That's all I can say. But that's why, are the Rays in the playoffs?
That was Dombrowski's first move.
Yeah, the Rays are in the playoffs, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. That was
that was his first move.
Move. And then he signed JT, I think.
Yeah. But his best move was trading for Sosa. But
Sosa's definitely the best deadline move.
Sosa's a stud.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe Marsh.
Marsh is starting to show a lot more than I think we anticipated, which is good.
Yeah. I'm fine with Marsh.
Yeah.
He had a couple of misplays in center field last week against the Cubs.
Yeah, he did have a bad one. Yeah, but that whole series was bad.
He also can't bunt. Pisses me off.
Oh, that was really bad too. Yeah.
Like, he's so fast. He's a lefty. And he gets shifted on like no one's business. Yeah. That's another thing we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about the shift being banned.
Yeah, that's nice.
But that's I mean, Bryce might hit like 380 next year.
I hope. Okay, so the Padres just put up a 7 spot in the 8th, so they won.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say they keep, because I don't think the Phillies win tomorrow. That team is obliterated right now. They're all hungover. They're not doing a thing tomorrow. So I'm gonna say the Padres hold on to the 2nd spot, which is good for us. So if that happens, the Phillies will play the Cardinals and not the Mets. So it is prediction time for this series.
They're going to win.
I think they're going to win because I don't think the Cardinals are that good. I know they're like baseball's baby, which is annoying as hell because they have like, a retirement home roster. It just pisses me off the way they get sucked off. So, they're going to get some shady calls and all this crap, but I think the Phillies are the deeper team, the more talented team. We don't need juice balls to 80-year-olds to be good. So, I'm going to take us, and, I think it's in 2. I think Nolan Wheeler just go in there and take care of it.
God damn it. I didn't want to be boring and go they take the first game and lose the second game. They won the last game. I was going to say they were going to sweep them.
I think they are.
How about they lose the first game, they win the next 2 in non-Phillies fashion at all?
Oh, God, that would be nerve-wracking. That could happen.
I think Alvarado has 2 saves, 2 massive saves back-to-back days. Or wait, how does this schedule work out? So
it's Friday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like a weekend series.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was Friday, Saturday, Monday.
No.
Okay. Yeah, Alvarado's not going to pitch back-to-back days. Although it's the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, these guys kind of got to grow up a little bit. And that's kind of another problem, really quick, because I do want to end this. They're very protective of Dominguez, and in the playoffs, you just can't be.
Nah.
You know, and part of Thompson's reasoning was always, well, I got to make sure these guys are, you know, good to go for the stretch run. Well, this is the freaking stretch run. It's the playoffs. So, you know, whatever you were saving them for, it's go time.
Yeah, I mean, I condone it. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Final answer is they get games 1 and 2.
All right. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know who the Cardinals would probably throw Wainwright and Michaelis, if I had to guess. Am I missing someone?
I mean, that sounds right. That's definitely their 1 and 2.
That who's that Flaherty guy? Is he hurt?
Yeah. I don't know if he's back though.
Oh, see, I don't even know.
Good.
I haven't watched a Cardinals game in like 2 months, so I just get all their damn updates when the AARP they got going on there hits a home run, but yeah, whatever. Enough for them. Can't wait to. We're gonna get our revenge from 2011 this weekend. The Phillies are gonna hopefully lose the next 2.
Flaherty is back.
Well, he might pitch then. So, well, I think those will be their 3. I don't know what order it'll be, but
he's got a 4.3 ERA this year.
Yeah, well, I still think they'll be their 3. I don't think I'm missing anyone good, am I? I don't think so. I don't know. Look at their depth chart. I don't know.
I'm reading an article right now, and it says he may be coming out of the pen. Looks like.
So it's not even gonna be him. Okay, so I think it's definitely Michaelis and Wainwright. Yeah, Wainwright didn't pitch the last time these 2 teams played because he was hurt.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting storyline too. So he's technically, you know, the only player. No, Molina. So Molina and Pujols. So they have 3 players from that roster still around. Then that's funny.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna end the era.
Yeah, revenge tour. It's time and then put them down like they did us. So let's get it. Hopefully, we're talking on, I don't know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and it's a positive thing. I think it will be. So, you know, the drought is over, Sean.
Drought is over. Sosa's going to hit a home run off for JoJo Romero.
That is just grand slam. Let's go for it.
That happens. Dave Dombrowski does a streak around the field.
Yeah, better. You know, please remember to subscribe if you watch this on YouTube. I know most of our listeners on this show listen to us on actual podcast platforms. So if you do that, leave an Apple review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be nice. You know, you don't have to give us 5 stars. I don't think we're that good, but 4, you know, 4 would be nice. You know, just a little something for the drought.
I just realized I didn't read the life advice. I'll just save it for this off season.
Yeah. We this is going on too long. So
we do have a few.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We actually got some. Okay.
We do have a few.
All right. Well, we will get to that because this is just going on too long. All right. So
we haven't talked. Man, when's the last time we actually talked?
Sean, I've been trying to end this for like 20 minutes now. Okay.
Yeah, but who cares? Hey, I got to go to work and like.
I have to work like right now. Actually, I was supposed to be doing stuff. It's already 12:30. You know, get it done. How long have we been doing this?
50 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's a long time. This is gonna be a long video.
No editing.
No, I don't edit really them anymore. So you know, that'll be fun. But yeah, it's been a while. But we came back for a great occasion. One we've really been waiting for. So, you know, this has been a long time coming. A lot of frustration. A lot of Freddie Galvis at bats, a lot of Jeremy Hellickson starts, you know, just a lot of bad things that we watched, and it's over. You know, hopefully
I got a ranch water beer.
Ranch water, okay.
Actually, it's a hard seltzer.
That's nice. Yeah,
it's from my one boy Christian. Looked at my Eagles tailgate yesterday. Here we are. Bon appetit.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, probably.
It's like jalapenos.
Seltzers are bad. Yeah, so I'm going to end it on that note, So we both got the Phillies in 2 over what we believe will be the Cardinals. Now, if this ends up being the Mets, I don't know. Yeah, I think it'll be the Cardinals because the Padres look like they're going to win. That'll put them a game up, and I'm not counting on the Phillies winning tomorrow after watching that celebration tonight, and not sure if Ranger Suarez will pitch tomorrow at this point. So
yeah, I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, that was honestly the first thing I thought about when the game ended. But we
I
will
did hear
see.
you saying that when you were off the broadcast. I just heard you talking in the background before you got on.
I don't know who I would have been talking to. I think I was just watching TV. But
I thought that was you talking about.
Oh, I was on. There was a Phillies Twitter space. I was on there listening. That's what I was on. Yeah.
Okay.
So big on the Twitter spaces. But
how do you drink these, Christian, bro? These are terrible.
Not good. All right. Thanks for watching the happiest and most positive episode in the 58, 59 episodes of this show.
We still weren't even that positive. I talked about trading Reese Hoskins.
Oh no, we were actually incredibly negative outside the first 5 minutes. But
as a true Negadelphian.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But this was good. Hopefully more positive things to come. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.